All right, so here's my update for, I'm up to week 14 out of 72 weeks of this workout program. So yeah, let's see, what do I even want to say? I don't know. I'm kind of like, I felt like I had a decent week. Like the workouts felt decent, but not like the greatest workouts I've ever had, but not the worst. I just felt like they were pretty good. It was kind of like my mind didn't want to do the workouts, but my body was able to do them. So I was kind of like, I was in there a couple of days feeling like, gosh, this workout just feels so long and I don't want to do these last couple of exercises, but I just did them. Like, I don't know. There was definitely like some mental resistance to it, but I was still able to go pretty heavy. So yeah, that's why I was just kind of like a kind of weak for the workouts, but I still was able to push pretty hard. I still got, you know, relatively sore on most of the days. So I felt like overall the workout aspect was good. So the diet side was actually the best diet week I think I've had. So I had decided to lower my calories down to 1700 and try to stay pretty consistent throughout the week. I added in an extra protein shake at night because I really wanted to try to work on hitting, at the very least, like my protein goal of getting 140 grams in a day. And then also kind of the secondary goal of having it be 35 to 40% of my macros for the week. And I did do that actually. I looked at my macros and I averaged out 142 grams a day on average and 35% protein. I think eventually, I think ideally it should be up to around 40% because that was what the breakdown was in some of my other program. It's just hard. It's just hard for me to get that much protein. But yeah, I feel really good about my macros and my calories this week. I kept it below 1700 for every day except for one. I went just a little bit over. It was 1800, but it was still really good compared to my other weeks because I hadn't been being super strict on my calories. Like I just took it if I'm staying below 2000 calories, it was good, and trying to keep it below 1800. But in this program, and this was like, maybe I'm a little bit confused by this, and I haven't really been, they have like a Facebook group that you can like post on and ask questions to. And I don't know, this program is different than the other program I was in because the other program, it was, everybody started at the same time, and it was, I feel like I mentioned this the other day, but anyway, the other program I was in was a 12-week program. Everybody started and ended it at the same time. So there was a lot of activity of people posting, you know, daily or pretty regularly in that group, and everybody kind of answering questions, and everybody was going through the same thing at the same time. With this program, it's kind of like you buy the 18-month program and you just start it whenever, but then you have access to a Facebook group that you can still post in. And I haven't been posting in it, and I don't really, like, there's not a whole lot of activity going on in there, but sometimes it'll pop up on my Facebook feed. And this girl had posted on there, and I really like related to what she posted. And it sounds like she started about the same time as me. I started like the first week of January. Looks like she started about mid-January. And like she's wondering if she should cut down her calories because she's looking at her photos and there's not really any changes. And I know in the program, like, there's a little bit of contradicting information, I think, maybe, because on the one hand, they say like, okay, the program has 6 phases, currently in phase 2, and it says, don't get discouraged early on because, you know, you're building. So it's a sculpt and shred. So in the initial stages, you're trying to build up your muscles, and then at the end, you do a shred and shred it off. So, you know, there's several times, like in the program materials, it's mentioned, like, you know, up to phase 3, it's really common for people to get discouraged because they're not like seeing the results that they want to see. But, you know, you're building up the muscle underneath, you know, you're trying to get, you know, build your good habits and do all this. But then, you know, later on, whenever you get into the shredding phases, then, you know, you'll really see the results of the work that you've done. So that's why I haven't really been like, even though week to week, I haven't really noticed like that much of a difference. I can feel internally, like I definitely for most weeks, I am feeling a difference. Like I feel like, you know, even though I have some body fat covering it, like I feel like I'm building muscle underneath. And so that's why I haven't really been getting super discouraged with it. But then also in like some of the materials, it says if you're over like 23% body fat, then you also need to be eating below your maintenance calories. So, you know, you need to be eating in a calorie deficit so you're burning body fat. Otherwise, later on when you do your shred, you might not see the results that you want with the shred. So on the one hand, it's kind of like, don't get discouraged, you're trying to build right now. On the other hand, it's like, well, if you're over a certain percent body fat, sorry, I just glued my lashes back on and they're sticking together. But anyway, if you're over a certain percentage body fat, which I am, like my body fat when I got my DEXA scan was like 36%. So I'm quite a bit over, you know, the 23%. I've got quite a bit to lose. So, you know, it's kind of like, well, should I cut down my calories or should I just stick with these like kind of maintenance calories and just keep working out? Like, I don't know. But I hadn't really been like super like worried about it yet because I've been so busy with work and school. I'm like, as long as I'm consistent at the gym, as long as I'm kind of like tracking everything and keeping up with that routine, like I'll worry about getting more into the diet and stuff later on. But then when I saw this girl that had kind of like a similar question, I was like, okay, let's see what they say. And they do have a good admins in the group. One in particular, she seems to respond to everybody. And, you know, she was kind of like, well, no, I don't think you need to be cutting your calories. And, you know, this is the building time and you need to be feeding yourself enough to build. And, you know, and she was like, in the materials, it's just saying like, don't be eating so many calories that you're putting on a lot of extra body fat. But I don't know. So I think right now the 1700 calories is good. I was thinking I may cut back my calories by like 50 or 100 calories a week until I start seeing some results and then maybe go up, you know, from there incrementally. But I don't know. I feel pretty good at 1700. So I think that's going to be doable at least until my hormonal week hits and I'm going to be craving carbs all the time. But for probably these next couple of weeks, it should be good. It should be doable. I didn't really see, even though I was eating like really good, staying on my diet really good, like I didn't see a huge difference in the scale. I don't see a huge difference in the mirror, even though this is like fewer calories than I have been eating pretty much this whole time, I think. Yeah, because the whole time I've been like 1800. There was one week that I had a little over 1700, but for the most part I've been around 1800, some weeks 2000. Yeah, but it's for the most part been between 1800 and 2000. And this week my average calories was 1640. So I don't know. I think I'm going to stick to this for another week and just see how things go. And then, yeah, I don't know. That's all I got. I will run through my apps real quick and then do my measurements. Okay, starting with my Fitbit. So yeah, remember a couple weeks ago when I went on vacation, my weight, I was down like for the most part this whole time I've been between 140, like 139, 140 for the most part. But then that week that I went on vacation, I jumped up like 4 pounds in 3 days, just because I wasn't paying attention to my calories and everything. I was just, having a little eating spring break. And then the week after, I did pretty good on my calories. I'd had my average weekly calories was 1,700, and then my weight started to like drop. But then towards the end of the week, it started to come back up. It was like 142.5 by the end of the week. And then so this gets us to the beginning of this week. I started out at 142.6 last Sunday, and then it did start to drop pretty consistently. But then yesterday and today it started going back up, even though I'm eating like below the 1,700 calories. So I don't know. I'm just going to keep going by the average weight, because I know for sure I can't go by the day-by-day weight. So if you look at the average between this week and last week, I did lose about a pound. So there's that. Anything else? Look at the trend. Not really much of a trend to see. It's been hanging around 140 above and below. But anyway, let's go to my Fitness Pal. So here's what I mean with my calories this week. The daily average was 1640. I was, pretty much stayed, within 50 calories of 1,700 for the most part. Had that one day that I went over just a little bit, but it's fine. Averaged out to be pretty good. And then for my macros, the protein is way better than it has been lately. Let's see, I think I did pretty good last week. No, yeah, look at the difference in the protein, because I haven't really been focusing a whole lot. I've just been trying to hit the calories, and really the workouts have been my biggest focus, but now I'm really trying to shift into the diet to see what happens. So this week was definitely, that's today. This week was definitely much better on the macro side. So yeah, I had 35% protein, 38% carbs, which is still a little bit high. I think ideally, for now, I think I want to try to get 30 carbs, 30 fat. 30. I think this is good though, for right now. At some point, I may try to get the protein up a little bit higher, but this is the highest percentage-wise that I've had my protein so far. So I think I'm going to stick with this for the next week and just see how it goes. So we'll see if there's any changes in the measurements, but I don't really expect them to be. I don't know. We'll see. So I'll hop over and do that right now. Okay, I'll start by showing you my outfit that I wear pretty much every day. I think I've shown this before. I love this little jacket. And here's how my leggings look. And these are the ones that have the cuff on them. And then, yeah. So that's what I wore today. Okay, so now, why is my brain so scattered today? So I'll show you what I look like now. I will say this is one of those weeks that I feel a little bit chubby. I'm hoping next week will be a lean week, because I feel like I haven't had a week where I feel like leaner in a while. So I don't know. We'll see. In any case, I'm gonna keep going. We'll see what happens. But here's how I'm looking this week. About the same. Push out. I can suck in a little bit. Still doesn't look that great. Back, I don't know if there's any muscle showing yet. I feel like I'm getting better at my back workouts, but I don't know. I'm still working with my grip strength, but I definitely feel like a couple weeks ago something happened with my grip strength, and I am able to do a lot more weight with like my deadlifts and then some of my back stuff and my rows and everything. So I don't know. I really need to bring my Versa grips with me one of these days, but I'm not super like comfortable using them yet. So, but one of these days I'll try that, but I don't think I could lift a weight, like super heavy weight beyond what I'm lifting now anyway, even with the grip strength. So anyway, let's go with the measurements. So my chest, last week it was 30.5. This week it's 30.75. And around the top, it's like 35.25. Yeah, that's the same as last week. Waist, yeah, my stomach feels pretty like chubby today. I did also have I drank my pre-workout and I've had a protein shake this morning. I haven't been drinking protein shakes on the weekends just because I'm not doing my workout, but I think I'm just gonna do it. Like maybe I do need that protein on the weekends if I'm like recovering. Looks like 31.75, which is the same. It's been the same the last 2 weeks. So my waist has been staying the same. My hips have been the same for the last 2 weeks. Try to do it right at the top of my hip bones just so I can get the same spot every week. It's looking like 39.5. So yeah, maybe that's going up a little bit. I don't know. And thigh. Is maybe a little bit bigger this week. It has been 21 the last 2 weeks, but I think it's more like 21.25 this time. My legs are feeling pretty strong though this week in particular. They always are feeling stronger, but for whatever reason I feel like there's a little bit less fat on them this week. Like I feel like the muscle is really, I don't know if I can flex. I feel like the muscle is really starting to like come in on them. I don't know. Anyway, there's also one other thing, and I hope this doesn't have to do with like any of the stuff that I'm taking, like my protein powder or anything like that, but like for the last month or so I've been getting these like, I don't know if you can see that red spot on my skin. So some of the stuff I have is bug bites for sure, because I live kind of near water, and when the mosquitoes start coming, I don't think the mosquitoes are here too bad. I've seen a few of them and they love me. So anytime there's mosquitoes around, I'll get a ton of mosquito bites. But also we have, I don't know if this is like the scientific name for them, but we call them chiggers. And so we definitely have some chigger patches. There's been a couple years ago I got into one pretty bad, but I think I've got some chigger bites on my feet. But beyond that, like at first I thought it was just bug bites, but I've been getting these like itchy spots that come up on me randomly over the past month, and I'm hoping it's just like an allergy to catnip, because it seemed to start around the time that we bought this catnip and was kind of using it for the cats, and I'd kind of put some on my bed, which was probably not the best idea. So I've washed all of my bed sheets and everything, and I'm not gonna like put the catnip on it anymore. So I'm hoping that it's just an allergic reaction to that and not like anything that I'm eating, because I feel pretty good about my diet right now. I don't really want to like make a massive change, but anyway, just wanted to make note of that because that's something noticeable that's like happening with my body. But anyway, kind of rambling this week. I think my That's all I got. I'll be back next week with another update, hopefully starting to see some progress. If not, I think I'm gonna stay with the 1700 for, you know, like the next month or so, and then just see if I want to mess around with bringing it down to maybe 1600, because I don't think like dropping it slowly like that would like mess with my metabolism, so I definitely don't want to do that. So yeah, that's the plan for now.